Afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming back to join me on Wednesdays with Wallis Psychic Medium. I am so thrilled. First of all, let me say a very, very, very big thank you from my heart to those of you who have taken the time to comment and say wonderful things. My heart is so warm. I am just so touched by your wonderful comments and by your sensational input, and the fact that it's confirmation for me that what I'm putting out to you is helping you. And that's the whole point of this. The whole point of this is to help you. I want to hopefully give you really good information and give you hope for your life, because we all need it. We absolutely all need it. So thank you to those of you in the UK, in New Zealand, in the United States, Pennsylvania and other states there that have joined, Canada, British Columbia, the gorgeous lady that lives out in British Columbia on an island, I guess. It sounds like it. Somebody asked me, where did I live in Australia? Well, I'm in the cultural centre, I'm saying, of Australia, and that's Melbourne. It's been voted a few times the best city in the world. Why not? And those of you who have been here are probably going, yep, absolutely, it is. So I live in Melbourne, which is at the bottom end of the island, so to speak. And so if it looks a bit tropical outside, not today, I'm trying to get a better light. I have just organised, or am organising, a webcam and some extra lighting, trying to get this whole thing right. Somebody made a comment they'd like to see me shuffling and doing the cards. Unfortunately, I haven't mastered that yet. They are right in front of me as I do them. I do hold them up, so I'm hoping that you do get a glimpse of them and you get a bit of some inroads to this. But the other really important thing I want to make, as she looks at the time, because I want to give you all that I can in the time that I have. And there's lots today, because there's lots that's been coming from me over this past week. Some of you wanted things I can't give you. I just cannot give you. Suffice to say, but I do want to say this, that if you're coming to this channel and you've been drawn to it for some reason, as we all are to various things, one of the things that I learned years ago was, if I'm drawn to something and I go there with expectations, as we all do about life, and sometimes we need to let go of our that's a form of control. We need to let go of expectations around things and be more open and allowing to what comes. So I'm asking you, or suggesting to you, that if you come with expectations, you want all these predictions and you want me to be like everybody else, I'm not. I'm just simply not like everybody else. I'm me, I'm who I am. I've been led to this and drawn to this, called to this, to help you and to be hopefully of some service. I'm the messenger. I don't have a huge ego involved in this. I'm not wanting to be a star. I'm just simply wanting to bring you helpful and uplifting and good information. Now, on that, I do get lots of things, and some of it is really not that good. It's a bit doom and gloomy, and I will not impart and pass on doom and gloom. I won't, because I think there's enough of it. We just simply don't need it. So even though I get the images and I get stuff around that, around, like if you live in the Pacific Rim area, there's more earthquakes coming and there's more things going to be happening in and around this area that isn't that great. But really, to get into all that and to get into the fact that the Earth's core is shifting and there's big changes happening from those perspectives as well as others, I think is a bit more than we can all cope with at this point of time. So I don't want to do that. I want you to come to this channel to share with me and be uplifted. I want to attempt and do my best to uplift you, and I want you to be uplifted in that as well, to be able to say, I felt so good after listening to her, and if you go away feeling that, then I've done my job. However, this week I did get words. I'm into the words, as I told you. So this week, 3 words came, and we're going to talk about those. I'm going to put the little book in front of me because that was where I got the downloads early in the morning, and I'll pass on with that. Somebody said, are you clairaudient? Yes, I am. And I am also clairsentient, which means that I read off energies, and I suspect that a lot of people who are empaths have that psychic ability to be sentient, which is all about reading energies and those sorts of things. I have a couple of books today just to say, look, these books are there. I also, during the week, and it's been harping on at me, and sometimes our ego gets in the way, and so does mine, insofar as, you know, filtering things a bit and going, oh, well, can't say that. What if that's not true? Or what if? But that's just simply letting go and allowing and just sharing. I just need to pass on what I get and go with that, for whatever that means. Some people were disappointed because they thought I should have given way more predictions. It's a bit late in the year to be giving a whole year of predictions, and perhaps that's not my role. Perhaps my role is not to give a whole lot of predictions, but to give you things as I go along. So that's what I'm about, and that's what I'll be doing today. We'll be doing some readings, we'll be doing some things, but I will be passing on also some things that I've been getting. So the 3 things, the 3 words that came this week are transparency, trust, and clarity. And I think they'll be very, very beneficial to you. I mentioned last week on the video that there was some predictions around medical, and I think those things are going to be, or what I'm getting told is those things are going to be around cancer, joints, and Parkinson's. I'm not sure why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need to be sure, but they're what I'm getting. Cancer, joints, and Parkinson. There will be a really big, interesting advancement and acknowledgement and news in the latter part of the year, I'm told, around advanced life forms. And finally saying and admitting that, yes, there are advanced life forms out there that are far more advanced than us, and that have been looking on and watching and waiting for the right time to come. After all, would you want to be putting your hand up and saying, here I am, in the face of another lot of people who, the minute they get it, all want to blow your head off? They're waiting for the right time, and I think the right time is coming, quite frankly. Our whole thing about reincarnation, we don't actually reincarnate. So if you're saying, and you've lost a child, and you know somebody has passed over, or a child has passed over, then, or a baby, then no, that child is not going to come back for you in this lifetime. They're not going to be reborn again as another child to you. That doesn't happen. It takes about 3 lifetimes for reincarnation. A long, long time ago, I was told that we had, and that was a lot of years ago, we had about 300 more years of reincarnation to take place before I think we were fully ready for a different form of passing on and passing over, but we won't talk about those in this particular video. So there are huge shifts in the Earth's core, and there are more fires and floods and earthquakes and those sorts of things to come. That's all part of this whole movement around us and our planet and the energies moving forward, because we're in the third dimension, and we are now, some of us already have begun that journey, but we're now journeying from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And perhaps next video I'll talk about what some of those things are in relation to that. But today I won't have time for that, because I do want to do a reading, and I want to do a reading around a couple of things. This week something came around a celebrity for me. I'm not going to mention their name right now. I want to just do a reading around it, and we'll call it the celebrity, and see what comes, if it verifies that for me, because I've sort of gone, oh, well, let me do a reading around it. And I've held off doing the reading until today. I was going to do it, and I thought, no, do it on the video. That would be a good time to do it. So we are getting way more advancement in a lot of areas. One of the areas I think I said last video was that we're going to be seeing a huge shift. There's two big things happening in and around our spiritual growth, I'll call it, in and around our, well, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So in and around that, there are two big things that are happening. And I think I mentioned it last time, but in case you missed it, I'm going to mention it again this time. And that is this whole area of sound healing. Sound healing is going to become huge as they discover and work more with the healing effects of sound. And we all know that. We'll listen to a bit of music. We can either feel really sad when we listen to it, or we can really feel upbeat and uplifted, can't we? That's sound. So, and I did mention about tuning forks, and somebody made a comment about vibration forks. Well, that's true as well. I mean, if we're being tuned with sound, then sound is vibration. So you're correct. Whoever said that is correct. But there is a lot of work being done around, and the word tuning forks being used. Now, before I do any readings around anything, I'm going to give you a fabulous book. And one of them is this, Tuning the Human Biofield. And it's a wonderful, amazing, fabulous book. And it's around sound therapy and all this whole area of sound, and the work that she's done on all this thing with sound. I am so taken with all this myself that I wanted to share it, and I'm also so taken with it that I'm going to be ordering a set of tuning forks. Here they are here, because I went a few weeks ago and I had some healing done, and tuning forks were used. It was with a friend of mine who has been doing this work for a little while. He's fairly new to it, but I wanted to go. And the tuning fork part, well, it was all fabulous, but the tuning fork part of it was amazing, and I loved it. So I'm going to be bringing into my readings over time a little bit of sound via tuning forks, however that's going to be. So that's one book. So if you can see it, if you're not sure, put it in the comments and I'll pick that up. I do read all of your comments. I put a heart on them all. Hopefully you've gotten that given back to you. My heart to yours. I do read all of your comments, and I love them. You are very, very special. Each and every one of you are very, very special to me. My heart. When I leave and get off my computer, I take you with me on my journey, because, and I can get emotional about things. I take you on my journey because you are so very special, and I am so over the moon and beyond amazed that I am reaching you and you are on this journey as well. And that gives me great heart and great enthusiasm to continue and go on. You know, we all have those moments when we go, what the? Am I, you know, on the right journey here? Am I in the right space? But myself personally, I always go, yep, yep. Look for confirmation. When the confirmation comes, it'll tell you whether you are on the right journey or you're not. So I do read all your comments, and I love them. Not those people who make silly comments or troll me or whatever. Not interested in that. They'll go elsewhere but I'm going to say to those people as well, if you've come along and you're making those sorts of comments, I understand that we make comments often out of fear and those sort of things. And you mightn't see that, but I do. And that's okay. But I want you to remain open. If you come along and you have, as I said, an expectation about why you're here, that mightn't be it. You mightn't have come for that reason. You know, we often come along to things and we think we go for a particular reason. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that. You can make that in the comments next time. But I'm sure you might have experienced going along to things, having an expectation around what you thought it would be or shouldn't be or could be, only to find it was totally different, but very, very gratifying and very fulfilling. And so I'm hoping that those of you who are a bit, you know, think about certain things go, well, hang on, I came for that, but, you know, what else? Are there other gems or are there other things that are really, really helpful? So that book. The other book I'm going to share with you is a book I read many years ago, and I think you'll absolutely love it. It's for all of us spiritual seekers in this 21st century, and it's called Barefoot on Holy Ground. It's not a religious book. I don't want you to think that. They're just easy lessons on knowing and exploring the way and understanding our mission, you know, through knowledge, revelation, and discernment. Becoming the Way illuminates the fundamental building principles of strong discipleship, love, will, faith, and powers. This is a fabulous, fabulous book. So for those of you who want to, feel drawn to it, feel inclined, purchase this book and read it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It came at a perfect time in my life many years ago. And in fact, I've since spoken with with Gloria Kapinski a number of times, and she's recently brought out a new book in the form of like an Audible type thing. I haven't listened to it yet. She sent it to me the other day, and when I've got some time, I'll be listening to that. Love her. She's an amazing, amazing lady. And she lives in the United States, in your southern states, South Carolina or somewhere like that. So, Gloria Kapinski. Okay, onwards and upwards from there. As I said last week, what I always do. Oh, and one of the other things that's coming, somebody asked about how do I vote? How do you vote? Well, how do I vote? How does anybody vote? Hopefully, you're voting, and I'll assume here that you're talking about, you know, the voting that's going to take place at the end of the year in the United States. I've had lots of stuff around that. One of the things I had a while ago, and I thought it was a premonition actually because of the way that it came, was that your present president, Joe Biden, would romp it in. He'll romp it in. And he'll romp it in because I could see this huge amount of women behind him. So he will. And women will take him. I see women as angels. I see them carrying him across the line. And he needs it. He really needs it. Because to be president of your country in the United States at this time must be worrying. And but I do want to say this. We have a thing about aging. And yes, we do have forgetful moments. And yes, we do go, oh, God, what was their name? We do get all that. And if you're in a position that he's in, those simple, normal, everyday occurrences for us as we get older, get blown up in the press and suddenly we're senile and stupid. Well, of course we're not. And neither is he, by the way. He mightn't be as agile and as honoured as he was, when he was a bit younger. Of course he isn't. Neither am I. And if you're in your 70s, and I am, neither will you be, I assume. I'm sure that you're not doing all the things you did when you were 50 or 55. Having said that, though, I'm very, very excited to see older people. I mean, we've got, Queen Elizabeth passed in the UK, and we've got King... yeah, there you go. See, I'm an Australian, and if I don't know his bloody name, what do I know? But we've got our new king there, and he's recently, King Charles, and he's recently been diagnosed with cancer. Around that, I'm going to give you what I've been given, and what I've been given is this picture of medical journals, not documentation. That's what I'm getting. Medical documentation, heaps of it, that has been, and lots of it, if you'd be absolutely amazed at the amount, but loads and loads of medical journals and documented evidence of spontaneous remissions. So I'm getting around Charles, that's what was given to me. I'm getting around him spontaneous remission. I'm getting the fact that it's interesting that in the United States, in the United Kingdom, we have these a little bit older people. And why are they there? I think they're bringing a message. I think they're bringing role model. I think they're being our role models. I think they're showing that, age honestly, sincerely doesn't matter. And we might fumble a bit and we might do all those sorts of things as we get older, but we are able to bring to the table loads and loads of experience, and we actually can juggle, more complex issues than what, people give us credit for. And whilst we might have these short-term, stutters on things, we might even, and I always laugh when America had a go at Joe Biden about, falling up the steps and things on aeroplanes, and I thought, oh God, I used to do that when I was young. I don't know what it was with those bloody aeroplane steps, but whenever you had to, not so much these days, you've got the ramp thing that goes out. I dread if I go anywhere and I've got to walk up and down bloody aeroplane steps, because I always tripped on them. I don't know how many times. So I had a little chuckle at that, and they made a big deal out of that. I thought, oh God, you should have been around when I was younger and tripped up the bloody down the aeroplane steps and nearly went over tea. So that's just absolute nonsense. But as far as voting, I want you to vote your conscience, vote your values, and vote what you feel. Don't vote the individual. Forget about the individual. Vote what you feel you need to vote. I'm shuffling my soul wisdom cards now. I've given you what has come to me around Joe Biden and the American election thing. Yes, it's a mess. Yeah, I'm not saying you're not in a mess. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but that messiness will sort itself out, because I think that you needed to go through this period of time, because, sometimes until we almost lose something, we often don't appreciate what we have. So perhaps your democracy hanging by a thread might have you all realise just how precious and how important it is for you to have your freedom. I know I certainly appreciate mine, and I appreciate living in a country where we are free to live the life we want and live our dreams and be who we are. And that's really, really important. So I hope those things help you. I hope they're of value to you. Now, I'm shuffling the cards because I have this celebrity thing going on, and I'm not going to mention who it is, and I may not, because I really want some verification around what came. I want some verification. I know I'm being stubborn, but I do want some verification around that. And I'm going to, oh, for goodness sake, come out. Okay, all right. The card that has come out is this card called Inner Worlds. Right? You see it? Inner Worlds. Now, this card, it's just about what I've been talking about. It's about what this channel is all about. It's about what I'm doing. It's about where a lot of you are at right now. This is about tuning into that which is not on our seeing plane. This is about our intuition. This is about our inner worlds. This is about our ability to connect to things outside of ourselves. And a lot of that comes from our intuition and tuning into those things that are being told to us. And I mean, how many times may you have gone and done things and gone, oh, I don't know, I just felt that was right. Well, that's your intuition. So I want you to listen up more to your intuition. Now, this is a card about this particular person. And right now, they demonstrate the energies. They demonstrate great intuition, this particular person. I want to pull out something else, see what else comes to this. Oh, there you go. Oh, yes, okay. The next card that came out is this card here. Can you see it? It's called the Psychic Artist. Oh, what more can I say? The Psychic Artist, it's absolutely fabulous. And I channeled all of these cards when I did them. So, it's not unusual for me not to totally remember all of the things and just, look at things. So this is about creativity. This is about picking up your wand of creativity and, forget about, your disappointment. Look, what I'm getting here is I'm getting a whole lot of, there are those of you, a lot of you, and I'm feeling energy really heavy. There's a lot of you who are feeling disillusioned and disappointed, and you're not sure where to go. Well, could I suggest to you that that's your problem? That is a problem. I mean, you're picking up on disillusionment and disappointment, pardon me, and making it a problem. But what I want you to do is go, okay, that's the problem. What's the solution? What is the solution to your disillusionment and disappointment? If you could have anything that you wanted to have and you wanted to solve that for yourself, what would that look like? What would that be? What would you be saying to yourself? What would you be doing if you were disillusioned and disappointed in someone? An example of that might be, let's say you were disillusioned and disappointed in a particular person. Would you keep hanging around that energies just to keep, building and building and building on it? Or would you walk away for a while and take a break? So you give yourself a bit of headspace and you give yourself a bit of space from that person to sort out your feelings around it. Well, I hope that you would. I hope that you'd walk away and give yourself a bit of time to, to take some space. Take some space. If I get looking around when I'm talking, it's because there's lots of things being said. there's lots of things coming and lots of things being said to me. And I get a bit, you know, when they rattle on a bit, I get a bit distracted around the things I'm saying. It's like, could you be quiet and let me just get this part of it out, because I can't get it all out and I can't say it all. I'm still on this thing with this celebrity. I really want to see if what comes around this person, there you are. Absolutely. Okay, so what we have here is the Four of Swords. 3 cards fell out. And we have this one here with the swords here, picking it all up. Amazing. Yeah. 7 of Swords. I love it. So we've got swords cards and we've got the moon card. And the moon can mean a number of things. In this particular case, what came to me is this, and I'm going to give it to you. And I don't know anything much about this person. I wouldn't know their music if I fell over it. I have no idea what their music sounds like, but I know that this young woman's recently been here in Australia, and she packed out stadiums that were nearly 100,000 people at a time, which I believe was quite thrilling to her, the biggest crowds that she's been in front of. She's an amazing young lady. Her name is Taylor Swift. And what I saw here was, you know, a young woman that was able to lead our young people along in very positive energies. And here in Australia, they were passing out, and they'd been furiously making, the young people had been furiously making these friendship bracelets, and they were passing those out at the concert around to others that they'd only just met or seen, or people standing next to them. That's wonderful energies. That is absolutely sensational, wonderful energies. And so our young people are, with that type of influence, I feel so much more comfortable about where our young people are going, and that we have people around them like her that are a good influence, because I felt and have felt for a long time that our young people have been fairly lost and a bit like, what the, oh, well, you know, the world will probably end anyway. Well, you know, it's all going to, you know, hell in a, you know, it's all going to, you know, hell in a basket. So I really felt I really felt the energies of all these young people feeling like, you know, the world was screwed, and they'd really inherited something that was rather terrible. And I really felt about that, because that's a shame, because it isn't like that at all. But this young woman has come along, and she's giving them lots of hope, and she's giving them wonderful, wonderful reasons to go on, and she's a great influence and all that sort of thing. But what came for me during the week was that somebody around her that she's close to would pass. Now, we may or may not hear about that, but somebody around her would pass, and that she would step back and take a bit of a break. That's what come to me, and we'll see if that's come to pass, or whether we hear about it. We may not even hear about it. I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is. I can't give you who it is, but it came to me during the week, and and I knew that it was her because of this creative card that came, and she is tapped into, tuned into, and turned on to her inner knowingness, this young woman. You only have to see her. You only have to see what she gives away and what she does and who she does those things for. She is totally turned on, tuned in, and tapped into her inner beingness. She's an old soul who has arrived to make a very, very positive impact on the planet. And for that, I'm grateful. We need them more, please, on the planet. But she will be able to cope with whatever this is that's coming for her. That's all I'm going to say about it. And the moon card, there'll be a lot of reflection in it for her. There's a lot of reflection, a lot of thinking. And this young woman does a lot of thinking. She is a thinker, and she's an old soul, and she thinks at levels that are quite advanced for her age. That's fabulous. That's old souls. So wonderful stuff, because old souls are returning, and with not total recall of what they had or what it was about, but their connectedness to their inner beingness is, they're very aware of that, and they're very, they're drawing on that. They may not be totally aware of the fact that they have that, but they're drawing on it, and that's wonderful stuff for us all. Now, for you, I want to leave you. There's a woman, Mary. I've had this coming for a while. Mary. And Mary, you live, if this is you live out of the town that you live in. You live out a bit. Not right out in the bush, as we call it in Australia, or out in the woods or whatever. But you live out from your town a bit. You're a bit out. And sometimes feel quite disconnected. Although you love it, and you chose it, you're feeling a bit disconnected. And I know this place or house, and you'll be able to, if it's you, this will help you relate to what I'm saying. If this is you, you live in a house. It's a timber house. It's a little bit older, and I keep hearing banging shutters. I keep hearing shutters that are loose, maybe even hanging off a bit. There's an abundance issue around you. There's a money issue, because you're standing looking at the house going, oh, there's so many things to be done, and I don't have the money to do it. And as you're doing this, things like the shutters are coming, need fixing, and lots of things need doing to this house. So you'll know if it's you, because you'll be able to relate to those things I'm saying about your house. Oh, I don't want you to be caught up in the money thing, love, because things change. Money's a vibration. So don't worry about the money. Okay, sit. Mary, I want you to sit with a pen, darling, and I want you to write out on a bit of paper. I don't want you to focus on the no money. I want you to write out on a bit of paper. Get a pen and paper. I want you to write down all the things you're going to do, how much you want. I want you to put that at the top, and I don't want you to get into your head about it. Oh, I couldn't have that much, can't. Many times in life, I've thought about having things, and I've set myself a target, and I've gone, oh, well, I'll have that. And I've gotten things, and afterwards I've had a chuckle to myself and said, oh, damn it, I should have asked for more. So I want you to set out an amount, stretch a bit, stretch into the amount. Okay, stretch into the amount. It's a wonderful book by Catherine Ponder, who used to write about all these things around prosperity and abundance, but prosperity. So I want you to think about your life prosperously and abundantly, but I want you to take this bit of paper, put an amount at the top of it, stretch, but I want it to be totally comfortable for you, Mary. I want you to stretch into it. And then I want you to write under it all the things you're going to do when you get that money. Will you do that? I want you to do that. This is not a lesson on manifesting, but it is in a way. There's a little bit here. I'm just giving you a little bit because we're running out of time. I'm just giving you a little bit, pal. But but I want you to do this. If this is you and you're out there, I don't know where you are, in America somewhere, I think, this is a lovely old house. Don't give up on it, and don't give up on your life, and don't give up on yourself. And the things that need doing around the place. Write it all down, darling, because I want you to be able to manifest those things for yourself. And don't think about where it's going to come from. Keep going. Keep being who you are and keep going. Will you do that for me? To everybody else, I am so blessed that you came. Who knows what comes when I'm doing these readings and when I'm doing things. It may be lots of readings. It might be not too much at all in the way of the cards and things. It might be just a whole lot of other information that's been given to me. But I'm going to give you what I get in the way that I get it. So if that is of interest to you, I've done my job. And I'm here for the other bosses that I have that are on the other side or in the celestial realm, leading and telling me where I should be going and what I should be doing. They're a bit bossy, but I'm going to close this off. Bless you all. Bless what's come, and all the positive energies, all the wonderful things. All of the people in the celestial realm right now who are clapping their hands and going, great, we've passed on some of what is great information and positive energies, and that's the main thing.